Good morning, beloveds. It's trying to rain. I don't think it's actually going to rain, but it's trying to rain. So, the streets are a little damp, so clearly we've gotten some rain, but All right, it is September 25th. Our title is The Power to Choose. And our author is Margaret M. Stevens, and this is from Prosperity is God's Idea, 1978. All right. The power to choose. You have the power to choose what shall find a welcome home in your mind. You do not always have the ability to choose what your ears hear, but you can decide what you will let into your consciousness, what you will feel deeply. We are all so vulnerable to the news media. We are all susceptible to the insidious influences all around us, and we all carry on silent dialogues with ourselves most of the time. What do you say to yourself when you are alone? Do you find yourself asking, how will I make ends meet with prices going up so alarmingly? Or what security is there in such a world? If you have had such questions, whether they are verbally expressed or not, your responsibility is to be aware of your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions to outside stimuli. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, substitute the thought, I choose not to buy this today. Instantly, you will lose the feeling of deprivation. You have made a choice. Remember, there is only one source, God. People, jobs, investments are simply channels for the delivery of God's good into your life. God is totally unaffected by changing conditions and fluctuating economies. When you find yourself giving way to fear and negative thinking and feeling, immediately replace the thought with a statement such as this: God is the only presence and the only power in my life. All is well. And I want you to know that's done in all caps. One of the things that, one of the real powers, I think, of Science of Mind is exactly that. It's knowing that we are at choice. Now, I will grant you that, as she said, sometimes the only choice we have is how we feel about a situation. But that's the good news, is that we can look at a situation and we can choose, how do we want to feel about this? And what are we going to do about it? There are things happening in the world that there is nothing I can do outside of, I can pray. I can pray. And I can always, always, always choose the more loving thought. It's one of the things that my partner and I were in the car, and somebody on the road was making interesting choices. And it's like, and both of us were like, oh, well, because you immediately go to the negative. And then I think it was actually him who said, or we could think about it this way. And I went, yeah, that's better. Let's think about it that way. Because we all, where I live, drivers, and they make interesting choices. And sometimes that's what I'll say. Well, that was an interesting choice. Or sometimes I'll simply say, well, that was a choice, And so that is, oh, I'm sorry. But why not choose the more loving? Why not choose the more positive? Why not choose when you, and I'm going to have to try that, it's like, because there are times that, yeah, I can afford it, but I don't want to afford it because I think it's too expensive. And so I'm making a choice. It's like, well, you know what? I don't need that now. I am choosing not to buy that. And so that's one of those things. It's like, and honestly, with the media, I just don't watch too much news. Like, I'll turn it on so that I can watch the weather, so that I can have an idea of what the weather's doing, so that I know how to dress. But I try not to watch too much of the news, because the news does have that attitude. If it bleeds, it leads. It's like the news is all very negative, and it's like, I choose not to have those insidious voices in my head. What the information that I need will get to me. I don't need to, and I do the same thing with social media. I'm very careful about the pages that I follow. I don't need those insidious voices, as she called them earlier in this. Because I don't need their negativity in the back of my head. Yeah, insidious. We are all so vulnerable to the news media. We are all susceptible to the insidious influences all around us, and we all carry on silent dialogues with ourselves most of the time. Okay? So that's what she's saying. It's like, look, limit the insidious influences around you. And when you notice that you've got an insidious influence, even if it's in your own head, then change the narrative. You have the power to choose. And that is one of the things that I love about Science of Mind and about New Thought. It's like, it's a reminder that we are always at choice. We are always at choice. And sometimes, like I said, the only choice we have is how we feel. But once we make that choice, then we can choose, well, am I going to listen to this or am I going to make a different choice? It's like, okay, well, if that avenue is not open to me, what other choices do I have? And so, she's bang on, and she's bang on with social media and news media and the power to choose. And so she's right there at the end. When you find yourself giving way to fear and negative thinking and feeling, immediately replace that thought with a statement such as this one. And it is all in caps. God is the only presence and the only power in my life. All is well. And you keep saying it until you believe it. You keep saying it until you believe it. So you have the power to choose what shall find a welcome in your home, a welcome home in your mind. She admits it. You do not always have the ability to choose what your ears hear, but you can decide what you let into your consciousness. That is the mission today, should we choose to accept it. Notice how I say that every day. The mission, should you choose to accept it. You don't have to accept the mission. I'm offering you this choice. And today, it's recognizing your ability to choose. Even if the only thing you can choose is how you feel about a situation. Because trust me, that oftentimes is the first step. Once you choose how you feel about it, then you can choose what you're going to do about it. And sometimes it's as simple as walking away, Or sometimes if you make a different choice about how you feel about the situation, things shift enough that you're like, nope, okay, I can manage this. I got this. The power of choice. And that's one of the reasons why it's so hard when people try and take your power of choice away. Okay? It is, the power to choose is a fundamental, I don't even want to say right. Although Reverend Jesse did touch on that. It's like, we all came, it's like, there is no power or institution that gives you the right to choose. All of the powers and institutions take them away. So, exercise your right to choose often. And while you cannot necessarily choose what you hear, you choose what you let in. You choose what you let in. So that is the mission today. Recognize your power to choose in every situation and use it. All right, the other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Honestly, what I'm asking you to do is choose to put yourself first. To self-care. When you get on an airplane and you sit there and they do that thing and they say, if the oxygen mask drops, put yours on before you help your neighbor. Choose yourself first. That is what loving, kind, and compassionate action is about. It is about choosing yourself first. Because once you fill your cup up, then you can pour for others. Okay? You cannot pour from an empty cup. So by saying it every day, one, I'm encouraging you to create a habit. 2, you are your own best test subject. Is this the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can do, or should I choose something else? Okay? And 3, you are a beloved child of God. You deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. And trust me, most of the time, if you can practice it on yourself, you can do it for anybody. Practicing on people we love is easy. Practicing on ourselves, that's a bit more of a challenge. But if we can do that, we can do it for anybody. And we are always going to meet people that need a little extra. When we practice on ourselves, we plug into the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion so that we have plenty of extra. We have more than enough to share when we meet people who need a little extra. And there are going to be days when we are the one who need a little extra, okay? So practice on yourself. And it looks as easy as taking a deep breath before you speak. Okay? She's talking about the power to choose what you let into your mind. The power to choose how you speak to yourself. It also looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like taking a break. It looks like saying no to something that is just really draining to you. It looks like saying yes to something that pushes you a little out of your comfort zone. It looks like taking a vacation. Not planning, taking. Although planning can be fun too. You got to actually take the vacation though, right? It looks like eating dessert first, okay? 1, chocolate is the first step to fixing anything, in my opinion. That is my opinion, though. But 2, it also reminds you, don't save the good stuff. You know, with a little effort, you can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and we can do it more often. Like, why do we save the fancy dishware for one day a year? Why not use it a little more often? You know, yeah, I know we don't want to use it every day because it takes a little extra effort to clean, but we can use it more often. All right? Don't save the good stuff. And in this loving, kind, and compassion, I want to remind you that joy is a quality of God. No matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy because it is a quality of you. So make room for joy, okay? No matter what is going on in your life, no matter what is going on in the world, make room for joy. Let some joy in. Let a lot of joy in, you know? When you do that, then hard times are easier to bear because you know that there is joy available. So please make room for joy. All right, beloveds. The rest of the suggestions are basic and easy. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you today. Drink plenty of water. Apparently it hit 101 yesterday. I'm so over the heat, really, honestly. So hopefully this, whatever rain we're getting, will keep it a little cooler today. So, you know, hydrate. Your brain works better, your body works better, your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. So drink plenty of water. And then, there's no sun this morning. So my artificial light is helping to reset those circadian rhythms. I'm going to go take my vitamin D pill because clearly I'm not going to get any sun today. And that's okay. You know, like I said, artificial light will help. I say from 7 to 9, but there's no sun from 7 to 9. So, okay, artificial light will help to reset that natural circadian rhythm. So it's just 5 to 10 minutes of bright light. Bright light. Trust me, this is bright light. So, all right. Yep. Deep breath. And Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you. You do live in heaven right now. It's all around us all the time. Okay? Right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Because it's all God. We all come from the same source. That's what she said. It's all God all the time. God is our only source, right? What did she say? Margaret. God is the only presence and the only power in my life. All is well. God is all there is. When we recognize that, we recognize that heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Once you recognize that heaven is a state of mind and not a place you have to get to, it can become any place you are. And that, my friends, is a superpower. Straight up. Once you learn to create it for yourself, nobody can take it away from you. That is the state of grace. So, practice on yourself. Create that state, that heavenly state of mind by being aware of the influences around you and choosing what you let into your head and your heart. Choose. And choose regularly and often, you know, choose. And then you become an island of peace. You become an island of calm. You let in only that which serves your life, which makes your life better. And you leave the rest of it on the doorstep. Okay? And then you become that safe place for people to come when they're trying to work their stuff out. I'm not saying that you're gonna let them in and let them disrupt your calm. What you are doing is pulling them into your peace instead of being pulled into their storm. There is a difference. Choose wisely. All right, beloveds. You can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. That is the best way to change your mood and your mind. So look for the good and praise it. Recognizing that God is all there is, and the more good, happy stuff we surround ourselves with, it makes, when we do the hard stuff, it makes it bearable. I'm not saying we're not going to do this hard stuff. I'm not saying that we are not going to bear the hard stuff. What I am saying is that we are going to choose to do our work and to recognize that on the other side of the hard work that we do is good. All right. I'm going to look a fact in the face and get on with it. That's how you do that. All right. You make a choice. Okay. I'm just going to get off of it. All right. Social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. There are hours of content. If you need to be uplifted, what have you, please check it out. You want to know what's going on with the center? Email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. That will get you, the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information or to the person that can help you get it. Such as the hot link will take you right to the Soul Session playlist. Okay? So there's all that stuff is amazing. Those people, our guests, have been really good. So, all right, deep breath. Nope, can't. Allergies. Yay! Deep enough breath. And I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a dance in the rain day, a choose day, a be aware of the influences day, a recognizing that God is all there is day, a consciousness day, a loving day, a kindness day, a compassionate day, a choose wisely day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Know the truth of your being. Explore the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of who you have been told you are. And choose to find out who God knows you to be. All right? I can promise you that who God knows you to be is really cool. So, I'm going to get off my high horse and choose to get started with my day. But I am going to remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.